Well, I covered what went on with Graham Nolan's failure to launch earlier this week, and ComicsGate is absolutely seething about this. So we'll see how crazy they react now, which is really, really funny. Because Renie, Irene Strikalski, did I pronounce her last name right? I don't know. Launched Fiendish 3 last night, and it shows there are backers there for people who actually produce their comics, which is, again, why they've been seething so hard lately. This is why they are attacking Eric July so hard. This is why they're attacking me so hard. This is why they've started to go after Chuck Dixon. This is why they've started to go after everybody who actually produces good comics and actually does what they're supposed to in this space, because they know that their gig's up, that people have tuned out of what they're doing, that all they have left is this Ethan Van Sciver blood sports audience who can, he can get, looks like about 1,000 of them in to kind of be his pay pigs at this point. But back in the day, like when he pretended to be about comics, he was getting 10,000 backers. It is a huge, huge drop-off of epic proportions, and it's all because he treats creators very, very poorly, especially conservatives and Christians in the space, much like the mainstream industry. And then he's got a bunch of mainstream industry sycophants like Graham Nolan who will go and happily attack other Christians and conservatives on his behalf for a little bit of clout. They traded the mainstream industry selling their soul to Marvel and DC, where they do that exact same Whisper Network sort of thing, for a smaller Whisper Network where they do this exact same thing. Online, it's really a bizarre situations, but you can't change guys who are like 60 whatever years old. They're just like, they're set in their ways, and they've been trained by Marvel and DC all of these years to act like just terrible people. And so this is what happens. And so this is why we need a new and fresh difference. And Renie's doing this. Renie, of course, is more of an independent artist who did not like really grow up in that ecosystem for decades. She did ink for Marvel for a little bit, but she's doing it on her own. She's been doing it on her own, been very successful doing so. Very great fantasy series. I believe I reviewed the first book here on the channel. I can't remember if I actually did or not, though. But I did back both the first books. They're fantastic. Her art's good, compelling storytelling, nice world building. Everything that kind of ComicsGate doesn't do with their books, which is why, again, people are flocking to it. So, yes, Graham sold his soul, Renie didn't, and they're seething in ComicsGate. Let's get into this in just a moment. Please hit the like and subscribe button. I noticed something the other day that, these guys really are not about comics and reading and things like that. And that's what the mainstream industry trains people about. They only train you to care about brand, right? Buy Spidey-Man, buy Batman, buy X-Men. You got to collect it and bag and board it. And that's what the comic book industry comes from. I come from like the novel industry and like writing books, and in that industry, it's all about reading. Nobody bags and boards things. Nobody CGC grades books. I mean, it's a ridiculous sort of concept to like not read, and that's exactly what Marvel and DC perpetuates, because they don't care. They just want to extract bucks out of people. That's why it's all about variant covers that are like, you have to buy 1,000 copies to get one copy of this one, right? Which is a stupid Ponzi scheme. And that's exactly what ComicsGate again did, like 48-hour variant covers to try to get you in on that fear of missing out and grab as much money from the pay pigs as possible. And that's why you see, like with Ethan Van Sciver's campaign, he got like 1,000 people on day one, his 48-hour variant, and then as soon as that all falls off, like it falls off to zero in like 2 or 3 days. And Graham Nolan's same thing. He had his first day, went on his streams and all that, and then just completely dropped off. Now they did some cope. Ethan Van Sciver's been going out there going, this is a comic book of like some strips that are like offbeat and blah 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 blah, and that's why people aren't backing it. And it's like, interesting. So you're soft, low-key admitting that people are not trusting in the creator and interested in like somebody pursuing art and actually doing something different. They're only interested in certain like brand elements, right? And that's the problem with what's going on. So what we're doing here is I'm doing something different. I'm building a Substack because I've noticed the webcomic community is a lot more healthier in terms of their comic reading. Again, because they're all about reading. People just post online and then they read the comics and then they support the creators on a Patreon or the like. Now, Patreon is a leftist website, so I don't deal with that. I'm banned. ComicsGate got me popped there. They reported me for, quote, hate speech. Yes, this is what they do. They're very anti-competitive. Those guys got me banned from Indiegogo, from Kickstarter, and from Patreon the same way. And now I'm on Substack. Substack is a free speech platform. And I'm doing the same thing as the webcomic creators. I'm posting content for you to just read so you can read the comics. This is on Flying Sparks. We're halfway through issue 3. So I've given 2.5 issues of content so far, a new page every single day. And we're building this pretty big, and I've been loving you guys coming in on this. Now, there are paid subscriptions as well, so if you want to patronize me and support me and actually help build the arts here, this way I can just produce my art and not have to worry about, well, the market just doesn't like this, sort of thing. I can actually be a real artist, which is great, and I don't have to sell my soul to do so. I can just have patrons out there who know that they're there to support my my artistic expression. That is what... again, the webcomic community really does very, very well. So I've got exclusives for you too, because I try to provide more than pretty much everybody else out there in terms of like my production, because I work my tail off at this full time all the time. And I've got Astromancer as a comic, Extrasensory as a comic, as well as commentary tracks and different things that I'm putting on as exclusives for you. And so please come on this. Grab a paid subscription. It's only $5 and it helps me out tremendously. I've also got a Subscribe Star. That's where I've also been posting this stuff. It's the same content, so don't worry. You're not missing one or the other. I try to make it good for everybody. And thank you guys so much for helping us build our network of real comic book readers here. It's been so important. Now, of course, this guy throws a fit right here. We don't exactly see JDA's sales numbers. If JDA was indeed beating ComicsGate, he would back it up, but he won't. Unless he means giving away free copies of Flying Sparks. You do very, very well. Like I said, you post it up, people like your story, and then you do very, very well with people subscribing. It is a tried and true model that works very, very well. And of course, that's more about people who actually care about comics books. These people do not care about reading our comic books. And this is pretty funny here because this guy tried to frame this. I did post the other day showing my Amazon ebook sales of my back catalog, right? So this is my my audiobooks. I've sold 1,000 books this year on audiobook and 2,100 books on my ebooks this year. This doesn't count my print copies. This doesn't count my Emerald Array crowdfund. Doesn't count all the subscribers I have across my different platforms and the like. And so doing pretty well. And so what's interesting, he made a little over $3,000 in 7 months. This guy, again, these people don't know how to read. And this is the problem with ComicsGate. They literally don't know how to read. No, this is how many units there are. This is how many books. I've sold 3,000 ebooks and audiobooks in 7 months. That's pretty good. And now when you add in my web store, my print units and the like, we're over 4,500 on the year, maybe even closer to 1,000, 5,000. Those aren't as easy to just track. I don't have like a tracker sort of thing on any of that stuff. And so I have to guesstimate on that. And so, yeah, selling 4,000 to 5,000 books is way more than anybody in ComicsGate's done this year. And I appreciate you guys for reading, and thank you guys. We do have a web store if you do like print books as well. And so, yes, people are actually reading here, and it's growing because people are actually paying attention to the channel here. That's growing, and people are starting to read, and people are coming on the Substack, and that's exactly why we're winning. It's about producing here. Now, these guys don't produce. They just cry, as you can see. And we don't exactly see JDA sales numbers. I just showed them, right? At least some of them. And so that's great. And that's what's great about diversifying across different platforms, too, is you're not trapped on that single Indiegogo ecosystem. And that's where ComicsGate is. They have one spot they sell, and that's it. They can't move anywhere else. The backers don't go anywhere else. It's really you're trapped. And that's exactly kind of what Graham Nolan probably feels at this point. I think, once you cast your lot in, these guys were, what happened to begin with? These guys were retired Marvel and DC artists for the most part. Graham and Aaron Lopresti and Andy Smith and the like. They saw that Ethan and John Malin and Shane Davis were making a couple $100,000 on their campaigns each. And they're like, gosh, my campaigns make like 20, 25. And it's because they don't, what's going on here? And so they got talked to in the background, got convinced, hey, just come under my umbrella, my little Ponzi scheme. And you guys, it's a pyramid scheme. So we're at the top, but we'll let you guys sit on our live streams and promote your books, and you're going to make some money too. And then then you've got all these aspiring comic creators under you. You can have them sit on your live streams and then make a fraction of what you do. And it all trickles up to me, right? And they said, deal. I will sell my soul for that. I don't care if we're promoting terrible things and harassing creators out of the space and just being awful people all the way around. For $100,000, I will do that, says Graham Nolan. And I will be fine and stand by while you attack Chuck Dixon's honor and say that he's a has-been. I'm good with that as long as I make a few bucks. Let me get my cigar, right? He looks like a Bond villain when he does that stuff, like with the cigar and shit. It's weird, but it's very sad. So that's what happened, and they got these guys in, and what they provided to Ethan for a shield for a while was, it is a situation where he looks like he has credentials, because these are all Marvel and DC people. We're the ComicsGate kings, right? It's credentialism, and that credentialism is what the whole industry is about. Again, they're just repeating the patterns of Marvel and DC Comics and all the bad things they're doing. So as we saw, launch a couple days ago, didn't do so hot. It has not moved since I made this meme yesterday, so it is just sitting there. And it has not, and it also has not, is not really going anywhere. It's dead in the water, right? And so Renie launches last night to almost double the backers with, just with away from these people, has turned her away from this stuff, saying she doesn't want any part of it anymore. And is totally just making a great book and, of course, living off of her merits. And that's the difference between the two right there. It's a great meme. This is really funny stuff and is doing very, very well. And this is going to cause them to see like you've never seen. I mean, they're already so mad. Like I said, Ethan's posting these Cope posts about, why Graham is failing now. But yeah, next time it'll be fine. Trust me, bros. Yeah, right. And they've been losing their backers consistently over the last couple of years. We've seen the drop, and they're not replacing anybody. They're not gaining new people because it's not about reading comics. It's just about them attacking conservative and Christian creators, much like the mainstream industry does all the time. So good work, Renie. Great launch. Really good stuff. Fiendish is a great book. I definitely recommend it, guys. And get on the Substack, guys. This is where some wonderful comics are being made. You can just read. It's fantastic stuff. Appreciate you being here. And that's in the description below. My web store's in the description below. Amazon page for my novels and the like. We have stuff going all the time, and it's a lot of fun. Thanks for being here. What do you think about this? Leave a comment down below. We'll be back.